Hello, everyone. My name is Swamp, and it is time for Tomfoolery Tuesday. Quickly becoming one of my favorite days of the week simply because of the fact that I'm not just exclusively scrolling through a bunch of TikTok every Tuesday. That was starting to kill me, man. That was getting to be too much. I had to find a way to change it up. Of course, we still go through TikTok on Tuesday, but only when I'm feeling it, which means we get to do a lot more because it doesn't always have to be TikTok nonsense. All right. Before we jump into this, I think it's important that we take a moment to listen to the song about a cowboy fighting off an alien invasion that we did last night, because after the stream was over, I did a little bit more work on it, put in some sound effects. I think it might be the best thing that's ever been done ever in the history of songs about being abducted by aliens and shooting them with rifles. And that's saying something, because there's been a lot of those songs. I mean, there really has been. So let's give it a listen. Out in the desert, beneath the wide open sky, I was camping by the fire with a lone coyote's cry. When a bright light descended from the heavens so high, little green men emerged with a glint in their eye. Abducted by aliens, they thought they had me caught, but I reached for my Winchester, I sure gave it a thought. I took aim at the invaders with courage in my eyes, and they won't take me to the skies. With a heart full of fear and my Winchester in hand, I fired shots at those aliens. Their spaceship rattled and they cried out in pain, but I knew I had to fight if I wanted to remain. Abducted by aliens, they thought they had me caught, but I reached for my Winchester, I sure gave it a thought. I took aim at the invaders with courage in my eyes, they won't take me to the skies. They had strange shiny helmets and eyes like the night, but I kept on shooting, I knew it was my right. They spoke in weird languages, their intentions unknown, but I'd rather fight for freedom than be taken from my home. Abducted by aliens, they thought they had me caught, but I reached for my Winchester, I sure gave it a thought. I took aim at the invaders with courage in my eyes, they won't take me to the skies. The battle raged on under the starry dome, but in the end those aliens, they headed back home. Stood there victorious, Winchester by my side, a country boy's resolve, a source of southern pride. I'm trying to find the part of aliens. They thought they had me caught, but I reached for my Winchester, I sure gave it a thought. I took aim at the invaders with courage in my eyes, they won't take me to the skies. And now I'm back on my ranch under the open sky, a tale of alien showdown I'll tell to the day I die. I may just be a cowboy, but I showed them who's the boss. When they come back, they'll know. Don't mess with the Texas sauce. I was trying to find the a part in that old sci-fi movie where the aliens were to put up on the screen while that was playing. Anyway, there is tomfoolery afoot on this Tuesday. But before we get started, do not forget, if you enjoy my channel, super chats are going to the Revolver Fund. Definitely will be buying that very soon. And if you would like some merch and to donate to the Revolver Fund, check out the limited edition two sticker holographic sticker pack. The boys didn't do nothing. It's a good deal, you guys. It's a quality item. It's a quality item. Okay, so the way that this has been working, TikTok Tuesday, or Tomfoolery Tuesday, is that we're just going to go over a lot of things that are tomfoolery, at least adjacent, if not direct tomfoolery. And then I will pick what I think are the best ones, and then we will vote on which one is the largest amount of tomfoolery, or however you phrase that sentence. Whatever has the most tomfoolery? I don't know. First up, something that has just been annoying the hell out of me for a while, and I've not figured out exactly where to include this on the channel, so I'm going to put it here because it certainly is tomfoolery. I'm just gonna show it, and then we'll get into everything that is just horrific about this. So this is from a faculty meeting at a public school. It looks to be either an elementary school or a middle school. And don't worry, it's not them reading gay pornography or something like you think it's going to be. Though I would argue it's kind of almost as bad. All right, here we go. Why? And forgive me if I've shown this before. If I did, it was briefly, and it still scars me to this day. I can't remember if I showed this before or not, but what is with the absolute adults can't be adults anymore? Everything is, what is going on? This was their way to start off their job, and it says, I think my new job is going to work out just fine. And it's them singing this god-awful song. Why? And I'm sure many of you have noticed this over the years too, where years ago when I would have, like when I was first getting jobs, as a teenager, occasionally you'd come across these crap jobs where they'd want to do team building, you guys, and they'd have you like play stupid games, and you'd just be like, oh my God, please just shoot me. This is ridiculous. What am I, 8 years old? This is stupid. And I think we all hoped when that happened that it would go away. Slowly there'd be less and less of it because I realized people hated it. But apparently the exact opposite has happened, which is quite alarming because it implies that people didn't hate it. People didn't hate it, and they just kept doing it. If this was my first day at work, it would be really difficult for me not to want to just blow up the entire school, but assuming I didn't do that, I would turn around and leave and be like, you know what? Don't even worry about paying me for the 45 seconds I've been standing here. I'm going to have to find a new job. I can't do this. It's too much. It's not going to work for me. I hope you all burn in hell. What is this? The fact that there isn't more people sitting there that look like they're about to kill themselves is also a really bad sign. Because when this kind of stuff used to happen, like I said, when I was a teenager and into my early 20s, I had jobs that tried to pull crap like this, but most of the time you'd look around and all the employees would go, what the hell is this? I want to get to work. I'm not your 6-year-old kid that you're trying to convince to get into the car, where you sing a song for them being like, let's get in the car today. Come on, Tommy, let's go. Yeah. Absolute tomfoolery of the highest order. Maybe what these people would say about me is correct, that I'm just too jaded and I need to get in touch with my I don't know, queer side. I don't know what you would call this. Don't worry. It gets worse. All right, there's a lot more to go through today. Up next, far left activists storm U.S. Speaker Kevin McCarthy's office. But it's not an insurrection when they do it. But I can assure you that it's incredibly cringe. I don't even know what they're saying. But actually, this goes perfectly with the teachers at that school. This is what a child does. I honestly, I don't understand this at all. There is a legitimate role for certain kinds of protests, like, you know, a march, where it's simply just to show the number of people that agree with this. And I understand the logic to that. It's now just devolved into, well, I'm just going to sit here and scream about the things that I want, even though they're totally incoherent and no one knows what I'm talking about, until something happens. What that something is, nobody knows, because they can't understand what the hell you're screaming. Just like a toddler. And apparently this pleasant woman is HIV positive. And that's not me making fun of her. It's what her shirt says. HIV positive. Thank you, I guess, for letting me know that. I would love to hear any kind of explanation for this kind of quote-unquote activism. And I would just like it to be known that this is an insurrection. And the woman who's HIV positive needs to be sentenced to at least 20 years in prison. Though I would advocate for that anyway, just because of how insane she seems. Or just because of how much tomfoolery she seems to get up to on what I would assume is a daily basis. Now, where is it? I wanted to keep on the protest. Where's the protest? Okay, here we go. Protesters. All right, because they're just fantastic. So the group Gays Against Groomers recently had a fundraiser in what shithole was it? New York City. They had a fundraiser in New York City. I mean, Gays Against Groomers is fine. I mean, obviously, I'm pro anybody who's anti-pedophile. I mean, it's funny that that's now like a stance where you go, oh wow, hey look, these gays are against pedophilia. Wow, who could have? Well, this is unique. But you know, that seems to be where we are, and because of that, the left had to come out and protest because that's what they do. Now, as you can see, it's the exact same tactic as the HIV positive woman who was sitting in McCarthy's office. Let's just say something over and over again. And I don't know what I wouldn't have been able to tell what it is that they're saying, but thankfully Timcast wrote it down. They're saying every gender, every race, punch a transphobe in the face. Now, are they saying that every gender and every race should punch a transphobe? Or I think that you could read this, it doesn't, like, every gender and every race, punch them in the face. I mean, I mean, just grammatically, I feel like you should be a little bit clearer with your chant. So it says, every gender, every race, punch a transphobe in the face. Based on the left's own framing of how the world should be, this sounds incredibly racist and sexist. Because it sounds like you're saying, even if a black guy is a transphobe, you should still punch him in the face. And that's just racist. But for some reason, transphobe is now, or being transgender is like the highest victim status you can get, which I don't really understand exactly why we're there. But let's take a look at this real quick. So we've got the guy. There's a better picture. There we go. See, look at this guy on the... Oh, you can't see him. Hang on. Let's full screen it. His pentagram mask. Of course, he's wearing a mask. They're all wearing masks. That's how you know that they really, truly care and that they'll punch a black guy in the face if he's a transphobe. They're all wearing masks. F off transphobe. And here's the main thing I want to show you by slowing this down and looking at these people. Does any of them look like they don't smell like shit? I mean, even a single one. I mean, obviously this guy with his cowbell with a Tucker Carlson sticker. What does it say? Resist the company? I think is what it says with a picture of Tucker Carlson. Well, needless to say, they're not sending their best. But wait, there's more. It says here from Timcast News, a small scuffle breaks out between far-left counter-protesters and attendees for the Gays Against Groomer fundraiser at Comic Strip Live, New York City. Violent far-left agitator regular Derwin Gonzalez. Derwin. A weird name. 53. God, what? A 53-year-old man is out here fighting people who want to stop pedophiles from abusing children. If that's not tomfoolery, I just don't know what is at this point. You put cuffs on the other guy, put cuffs on this guy. Come on.
Just stay here 1 second. 1 second. 1 second.
Just put the cuffs on the guy. Jeez, what are you doing, brother? God, that took way too long to put the cuffs on that guy.
Stay right here.
Getting the job done. At least we've got people out here fighting against a group that wants to protect children. I would expect nothing less from the homos in New York City. I wish I was exaggerating what's going on, but I'm not. That is the level of tomfoolery that we're at. People are actually willing to engage in violence because a group of gay people are getting together and saying, hey, children probably shouldn't be involved in the things that we do. How did we get here exactly? I mean, it's absolutely bizarre. And, you know, to further illustrate the tomfoolery, this was passed out at the event by the lefties, by the, the people who love children maybe a little bit too much group. And you might be surprised, but they're calling everybody there a fascist. So who would have guessed that that's what they would do? So they are passing out these flyers. Tell the Comic Strip Live to stop supporting hate. On September 10th, the Comic Strip Live is hosting a fundraiser for anti-LGBTQ bigots, including Moms for Liberty, which has been deemed a far-right extremist group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Imagine taking anything the Southern Poverty Law Center says as serious or as a fact. These guys probably listen to the ADL still as well. Moms for Liberty has... I love how they're talking about Moms for Liberty a lot. Moms for Liberty has been linked to dozens of harassment incidences, including targeted harassment campaigns against teachers, medical professionals, librarians, and public school officials. Now, of course, we know what they actually mean by that, right? They're not... They always say that they're harassing me. They're harassing me. What did he do? He disagreed with me, you guys. Oh, well, straight to jail. You harassers. It's just out of control. These events also feature anti-LGBTQ hate groups from across the country, including supporters of Libs of TikTok, a TikTok channel that has facilitated and supported multiple bomb threats against hospitals, schools, libraries, and independent businesses. Imagine thinking that you're the resistance, you're the insurgents, you know, you're the ones that we're out on the streets fighting fascists. Oh, how are we doing that? Oh, well, by listening to everything the federal government tells us. Oh, well, I mean, we're the counterculture, you guys. Oh yeah, how is that? I'm listening to everything MSNBC says. So, in your face. Punk rock, my dude. or just, I mean, the thing that's on the freaking flyer, the Southern Poverty Law Center. Oh my God. So it says, tell the Comic Strip Live to stop supporting fascist extremist groups. No space for hate in NYC. Southern fascists out of NYC. Now, I do think it's interesting. Do you see anywhere here where they mention the actual name of the group that's organizing the event? No. And I wonder why that is. Because maybe someone who doesn't know what's going on, if they read this flyer and they saw that the group that they were protesting was called Gays Against Groomers, that they might go, well, wait a minute. So wait, these are gay people. How can they be anti-gay if they are gay? But for some reason, conveniently, that is not listed anywhere on this flyer. But, you know, far be it from me to, you know, say that they're trying to pull a fast one and that these people aren't absolutely insane. Really, at this point, anyone who goes out and protests like this has to be on Tomfoolery Tuesday. I mean, can you think... Climate activists, these crazy LGBTQ activists. I mean, can you think of any effect that this kind of behavior has on society at all? Jackasses. All right, heading back to the schools. This person's name is Dee Duffy. And obviously this is a made-up name because all of these people, when they lose their minds, make a new name so that if you don't use their new name, it means that you are dead naming them because they're insane. So this is Dee Dee Duffy, and she is a school teacher. I don't know if she says what age the kids are. Oh, geez. It's a preschool teacher. This is a preschool teacher. Right from the get-go. I mean, just look at this person. Why do they intentionally make themselves ugly? Intentionally. I mean, her eyebrows don't even normally look like that. I know she probably thinks that these are my natural eyebrows. No, it's not. That is not your natural. That's not how no one's eyebrows look like this. She clearly plucks the part here. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Here we go. Right here. She plucks them on the ends to make them come to a point, and then this weird... I mean, what is the obsession with making yourself as off-putting as possible? It's, Well, I have my theories, but... Yes, it is very Vulcan-like, actually.
I feel like I had to learn the concept of chosen families really young, and it wasn't anything to do with my queerness, but just based on the fact that I didn't have the love at home that I needed, and I knew that I was valuable and deserved it, so I found it on my own early on. And, you know, I shouldn't be blamed for that, because blood still exists. You were never there for me, and I found my own love, and that's okay, and I think everybody should be allowed to do that, and that's what I fucking teach in the classroom, okay? I always say give it to your friend, not your mom, because fuck your mom. And I don't know, I just am so sad. I am so sad, and I hate my sister. She's a fucking cunt. That's all I have to say.
That's my major problem with school. I really don't do anything unless I actually want to do it. And most of the time, I don't want to do anything at all.
Oh, man. This is why I don't do TikToks as really at all anymore. What the... I mean... First of all, before I get into like what are the obvious problems with this, I can't stand this stupid and intentionally bad acting. It's like the same things that drag queens do when we're supposed to pretend. Look how great this is art, man, and it's like intentionally being a bad actor. This isn't art. This is stupid. Stop it. Stop it. Go watch Schindler's List. That has good acting in it. Why is this... I don't... These stupid theater kids, man. It's these the damn theater kids. All right, I'm not going to go off on this as hard as I was going to. I was thinking about... I'm just going to leave it at this, okay? Ignore everything that she just said. As crazy as it was, I teach my kids to be gay and they, you know, F your mom, don't talk to your mom, families suck. I found love outside my family, which is obviously not true because you wouldn't look or act like this if that was true. Ignore all of that. Somebody who looks like this shouldn't be allowed in the classroom. When did we stop doing that? Because I really don't understand this, where, you know, the people doing the hiring are still the people, like they were the older people. The kinds of people that were there when, you know, we were in school. They're the ones doing the hiring. So think of the people... You know, if you're 30 or older, think of the people who were in schools when you were in middle school. those are the people that are still doing the hiring. What makes a person hire someone who looks like this and behaves like this? Utterly illogical. What has happened? And look, this last thing, this is in her classroom. I mean, look at her. What is she doing? You come into school looking like this. Immediately, the principal should come to your classroom and say, yeah, miss, I'm going to have to ask you to pack your things up and leave right now. I'm taking over this class. You're fired. And then when she starts acting like, oh, how could you do this? So say, no, leave now before I call the police. I will call the police if you do not leave the premises immediately. This, are you... Oh, God. Intentionally bad makeup, intentionally bad dress. I mean, what is going on here? This is a preschool teacher. And you know what? Even if they, you're right, the teacher shortages, but okay. Then, I still think even if they're short on teachers, you shouldn't hire someone who looks like this. That should never be an option. You don't just go, oh, well, we're short on employees. And you go, yeah, but Jim, did you have to hire the serial killer rapist? Oh, well, we're short on employees. It's what we had to do. No, you don't hire that person. But even if they did that, what parent in their right mind walks into a classroom and sees this person and goes, sure, I'll leave my kid here. Why not? Oh, yeah, you seem totally reasonable. You should take care of my child and a dozen other people's children. Sorry, you guys. I had 2 glasses of wine before we started this, so... I'm riled up, you guys. Let's go. Moving on to our next tomfoolery, I think this might be the most insane tomfoolery thing that has happened in the entire nation in a very long time. I was going to talk about it on Friday, but it really belongs in tomfoolery. So it's going to be on the list of things for Tomfoolery Tuesday. That's right. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. If this isn't the most perfect example of tomfoolery, I don't know what is. So it says, from the governor herself, today I signed an executive order declaring gun violence a public health emergency. To my fellow citizens, get loud, step up, demand change from your neighbors, from your friends, from your communities, from your elected leaders. Enough is enough. More coming from me tomorrow. That is quite enough, Miss Grisham. Sit down now. We don't need more. We do not need more. But unfortunately, we did get more. And thank God for that. I say it a lot. Straight to jail. This is actually literally an instance where this person should have been sent straight to jail. Not even hyperbole. We're not being hyperbolic. Actually, literally should have been sent straight to jail.
Yes, all the examples you cited are crimes. Kids shooting at other kids, shooting from cars. So what's the value of the civil order? Why not just do better law enforcement?
Both. The value of the order is that it gives me 3 things. 1, It says it's a statewide issue and it's a message to everyone to start leveraging their resources and arresting people. 2, the jurisdiction.
She literally just said we should be arresting people who are not even committing crimes.
Jurisdictions come at this, including with the DOJ restrictions, differently, without the leveraging and the additional resources, arresting, and where do they go? We got to make sure that everyone is bumping up their services. It's a message to the Metropolitan Detention Center. It's a message to the HMOs. You better figure out treatment. We have been sort of stalled out, to your point. This order basically says, stop stalling out, and to your point, just arrest everyone. Well, I also have to have the ability, I can't arrest everyone. There are literally too many people to arrest.
Well,
This would allow us,
If someone's got a concealed carry permit in Albuquerque walking down a public street, they're not going to get arrested.
I can make the point that maybe they should be. And this is
What the You say it all the time, but this time it's actually true, and it's not an expression. Straight to jail. This guy just said, he's like, well, what about people who, are legally carrying their guns and they have concealed carry? I mean, and she's like, maybe they should be arrested. What? And what's just ridiculous is she's sitting here and like to her right is some like police chief or something, and then like to her left is, I don't know, like the DA. Right then, both of those guys should have looked at her and said, oh, this is why so many people didn't want women to be involved in government or have the right to vote. Ma'am, I'm going to have you to stand up and put your hands behind your back. You are going straight to jail right now. Oh, sure. Maybe someone's not breaking the law. Maybe they're doing totally nothing wrong. Maybe they should be arrested anyway. Well, thank you, Governor Grisham. Wow. Excellent governance there. Just fantastic.
I'm willing to do anything and everything.
Oh, we know. You're even willing to break the law and completely forego your oath to the Constitution. Yes, we understand. Believe me, message received.
Within a shred of evidence-based effort. Because if you're not horrified that...
I love how she tries to backtrack it right there and say, well, with any evidence-based... Oh my gosh. They have the same XLR cable I do. Look at that. I'm going to have to throw out this XLR cable because this tyrant spoke into one. Man, that's a bummer. No, but look, she tries to then say, well, there needs to be a piece of, even of a shred of evidence. Really? That's not what you just said 2 seconds ago.
Anything and everything within a shred of evidence-based effort. Well, I also have to have the ability, I can't arrest everyone. There are literally too many people to arrest.
So here's the part where she just says,
If someone's got a concealed carry permit in Albuquerque walking down a public street, they're not going to get arrested.
I can make the point that maybe they should be.
see? Okay, now shut up about this stupid crap. Because even with a shred of evidence, you don't even give a crap about evidence. You just said that legal gun carriers should be arrested. The tomfoolery is off the scales. You have broken the graph, the pie chart of tomfoolery. You have just blown. This is a nuclear bomb of tomfoolery. This is something that, like I said, for once isn't a joke. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. The two guys sitting next to her should have just said, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, this press conference is over. Man, put your hands behind your back. Yeah, you're done here. But of course that doesn't happen.
And this is the point. I'm willing to do anything and everything within a shred of evidence-based effort. Because if you're not horrified that on any street corner in too many cities in New Mexico, there is someone with a gun sticking out of their waist or their belt. And I'll tell you, if you're a young person, you're not allowed to have a handgun.
Well, it's a crime already.
I got it, but we won't be able to arrest all of them. So imagine just.
Don't you love the logic? The guy. First of all, who is this actual journalist in the audience? Because you very rarely see this nowadays. I would have expected her to be speaking to a room full of people who go, wow, slay queen, girl boss, yeah, destroy the Constitution, take a dump all over it, girl boss. But this guy's actually asking questions, but he's like, it's already illegal what you're describing, so what is your solution? And she goes, well, actually, my solution is to just arrest people who aren't breaking the laws. Oh, well, now it all makes sense. Thank you. Wow, now I get it. Wow. I was skeptical at first, but now we know. Man, this is good governing.
Perfect world. If this was upheld, it gives all of these police officers the ability to focus on the real criminals.
Last follow-up.
Yeah. But your point is valid.
You took an oath to the Constitution. Isn't it unconstitutional to say you cannot exercise your carry license?
With one exception, and that is if there's an emergency, and I've declared an emergency for a temporary amount of time.
Actually, that's not true at all. Thank you. Try again. Again, the fact that there's these two guys sitting here who are both law enforcement and they're just like, yep, absolutely. What? And everyone who was paying attention at all to what started happening with the COVID lockdowns and stuff, I was saying this and many other people were saying this. Guys, do you realize what's happening here? They're going to use this as an excuse to do anything they want ever. No, the government wouldn't do that. Those are good guys, man. Those are my bros. The feds. They're fantastic. Their track record, stellar. Never done anything wrong. They've been nailing it for 200 years, man. Just fantastic. If I declare a state of emergency, then you no longer have rights. Get out of here, lady. Are you insane? I mean, obviously she is insane. Yeah, people in this country used to get shot in office, or politicians in general, for saying much less than this. Someone would have stood up and said, "Good sir," because there weren't women involved. "Good sir, I challenge you to a duel now." The tomfoolery that comes out of your face is beyond the pale. We meet at dawn, sir. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but a guy can dream, you know? A guy can dream.
I can invoke additional powers. No constitutional right, in my view, including my oath, is intended to be absolute. There are restrictions on free speech. There are restrictions on my freedoms. In this emergency, this 11-year-old and all these parents...
Oh, screw your emergency.
They deserve my attention to have the debate about whether or not in an emergency we can create a safer environment.
And I love how she then changes to, actually what I'm doing here is making it so we have a debate. And yes, Vic, I do like tomfoolery. Oh man, we should use AI. Do a parody of Tom Dooley and make it tomfoolery and have it be two guys having a duel. Anyway. No, but through this whole thing, she just moves the goalposts all over the place. But no, actually, your rights are not absolute if I declare a state of emergency. And then the reporter says, excuse me, ma'am, isn't that bullshit? And she says, well, yeah, actually it is. And I'm doing this so we can have the debate. Well, no, 2 seconds ago, you said you had the authority to do it. Now that you're being called out for not having the authority, suddenly, well, no, I'm just doing it to have the debate. Okay, well, fine. This is the quickest debate ever. It's over. Go home. You do not have the authority. Leave office immediately. Thank you. Do not come again.
Because what about their constitutional rights? I took an oath to uphold those too. And if we ignore this growing problem...
And I love, what about their constitutional rights? Ma'am, you just said constitutional rights are bogus. What about their constitutional rights? Screw their constitutional rights, because you don't think they have any. What an absolute ridiculous argument. No constitutional rights are absolute, and actually, I have the right to suspend them. Constitutional rights really don't matter at all. Anyway, as I was saying, what about their constitutional rights?
Without being bold, I've said to every other New Mexican, your rights are subrogated to theirs. And they are not, in my view.
That is insane.
You're talking about crimes. There are already laws against the crimes, so how are their rights?
I got it, but again, if I'm unsafe, who's standing up for that right? If this climate is so out of control, somebody should do something. I'm doing as much as I know to do.
Madam Governor, do you really...
She will do anything to avoid actually solving any of the crime problems that they have there. I mean, think about how batshit crazy this is. She's essentially saying crime is getting out of control here. It has just gotten way off the rails. The tomfoolery has just gone through the roof. Tomfoolery stocks are at an all-time high. What's her solution? Well, let's go arrest law-abiding citizens. Genius. Absolutely genius. And man, absolutely no respect for this guy sitting right here. Because if you look at him through this whole thing, look how fidgety he is, and look, his eyes are kind of darting around. It seems like he thinks this is BS. But he's not doing a damn thing about it. I mean, what a freaking loser. At least this guy over here on the left, he seems like he seems like he's with it, man. He's like, yep, yes, ma'am, girl boss, absolutely. But this guy over here on the right, I mean, look, he's twiddling his thumbs, and his eyes are darting around, and he keeps he's look how much he just can't stop playing with his hands, the whole time. It seems like he knows this is not good. This is my body language analysis. But my dude, if you know this is bad and you're still doing it, that kind of makes you worse. This insane lady knows she's insane. Hell, that's what she's here for. To be insane. If you feel guilty about it and you aren't doing anything, I mean, that's kind of worse, right? All right, so let's check it out. State of New Mexico executive order. Declaring state of public health emergency due to gun violence, whereas New Mexico consistently has some of the highest rates of gun violence in the nation. Whereas the state of gun violence in New Mexico increased 43% from 2009 to 2018 compared to an 18% increase over the same time period nationwide. Guns are the leading cause of death among children and teens in New Mexico. I guarantee you that's not true. It depends on how you're framing it and actually setting up the statistics. Because that's claims been made many times, and I myself have gone and looked into it and debunked it many times too. And have led to the deaths of a 13-year-old. See, this is what they really want. They have to have the pull on your heartstrings actual case of something, because this is how they always do it. They want you to start crying and say, you're right, please take away my rights. I feel bad about this horrible thing that happened. Please take away my rights. These evil freaking scumbags. They did the deaths of a 13-year-old girl on July 28th, a 5-year-old girl on August 14th, an 11-year-old boy on September 6th. New Mexico has recently experienced an increasing amount of mass shootings, including mass shootings in Farmington and Red River this year. I don't know why I specifically mentioned those two places. So these, I mean, we could continue, but who really gives a shit? These are their justifications. Executive order, because of all these things, you no longer have a right to carry a gun. It's too much tomfoolery. We just need to tone the tomfoolery way the hell down. And unfortunately, if they don't tone down the tomfoolery, then the reasonable people will be forced to commit tomfoolery type acts in response. It's a hell of a way to spend a Tuesday. Okay. We can move on. I mean, that was great. Don't get me wrong. But I'm probably going to have a brain aneurysm if I keep looking at this woman for even another 10 seconds. Next in line for Tomfoolery Tuesday. Hard-hitting journalism from MSNBC. Everyone's favorite news source. Just amazing, amazing stuff. But first, make sure you like the stream. If you can, donate to the Revolver Fund. If you can, or if you would like to, pick up the dual set of holographic stickers. The boys didn't do nothing. And actually, I didn't even mean for that to work out so well, but this is a perfect segue. MSNBC has a hard-hitting report about Donald Trump. And this is going to completely blow your socks off. And don't worry, they brought in an expert for this. Because what would mainstream media be without experts, you know? So here it is. Wait a minute. Donald Trump hasn't put his name on his post-presidential office? What? Good Lord.
Donald Trump seems to enjoy putting his name on anything he can for branding purposes, but for some reason, his post-presidential office is hiding in plain sight. That's according to an exclusive NBC News report that reveals Trump hasn't put his name on his taxpayer-funded post-presidential office. Straight
to jail. We finally did it. We cracked the case. Straight to jail for Donald Trump. Straight to jail. But if you think this is it, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Located in West Palm Beach, Florida, about 10-minute drive from his Mar-a-Lago club. Here's a picture of that office.
They have a picture of it. I told you, it gets worse. There was a literal office being used by Trump and his campaign. And look at this. They have a picture of it, you guys. There's a picture. Oh my Lord. Look at the sign outside the office. Holy crap. Call in the freaking feds. We got them now, boys. We got them now.
Trump's website reportedly doesn't list the address. The nameplate on the hallway wall is blank. There is no seal, official or unofficial, on the frosted glass door. And the name Trump is nowhere to be found. Joining us now, one of the authors of this report, NBC News senior national politics reporter, Jonathan Allen. Why? Jonathan, do we know anything more about this office and why it's being treated so mysteriously?
Yeah, she can't even help but laugh at it because she knows this is stupid. They're trying to make it seem as if, they can't help but laugh because it's so stupid, but they're trying to make it seem like they're laughing because Trump is stupid. You know, it's like, he didn't put his name on his office. I'm waiting for the indictment. I mean, what possible could anyone think of any plausible reason that Donald Trump, the most hated man in America, would have to go incognito with certain things that he does? I mean, it's not a crime, but it should be, because as we learned from Governor Grisham, I don't care if what you're doing is illegal or not. Actually, if it's not illegal, that's more of a reason to arrest you. You fascist bigots.
Good morning, Mika. So mysteriously that when I asked Trump's spokesman, he said he'd never heard of the office. Submitted a bunch of questions by email, didn't get anything back after that. But what's going on here, a couple of things that I think are important. Number one, when the Mar-a-Lago raid happened in August of 2022, there were classified materials at this post-presidential office that later got moved to Mar-a-Lago. They've since been turned over to the government. But as a result of that, what happened was...
So what he's saying here, and keep up, see if you can keep up with this, because, I mean, this dude's getting out of breath just from talking. So there was something that happened, which was not putting Trump's name on this signage, which is not a crime. And then, get this. Another thing happened where there was documents stored there, which was not a crime. And then get this. They moved those documents to Mar-a-Lago, which also was not a crime. And the whole time, the sign out front of this office still blank. And get this. It was specifically mentioned, so it must be important. They didn't even put it in. So they have the sign right on the wall. But get this. They didn't even put anything on the frosted glass in the door. Like in the door, like, you know, the glass that you can't see through, that frosted glass. They didn't even put Trump's name on the glass. For some reason, she specifically mentions that. I mean, this is next level. This is pretty out of control. I'm not sure how the country's going to recover from this, honestly.
Trump's lawyers asked that this post-presidential office that very few people knew about, they asked that it be searched by a private firm. There is no indication that the FBI has actually searched this office, even though they've been looking not only for classified documents, but also things that are responsible to the Presidential Records Act that are not classified but do belong to the United States
There's the
government.
picture again. There's the door. It's the infamous door. Look out, man. Can you believe this picture? It's shocking. This is shocking information. Look at this. This is an office building, and there's a plaque on the wall. Oh, holy crap, man. I was going to vote for Trump, but not now. Definitely not now.
The other interesting thing that's going on here, and of course, by the way, I should say we don't know what's in that office. Like the FBI, we weren't able to search it. But what we've been told by people who are familiar with it is that there are bankers' boxes piled up all over the place. And the other interesting thing about this office, Mika, is aides that are on Donald Trump's political payroll, either his political action committee or his campaign or both, have worked out of that office. And it's not clear what effort he's made, if any, to separate the official work that they're doing for the government from any political work that they're doing in that office.
Wow. This is hard-hitting journalism. So, to recap, MSNBC has uncovered in this 2.5-minute segment, Donald Trump did not put his name on the sign for his office. And then this is where it really gets squirrely. They don't know what even has happened in that office, who has worked there, or if anything or if any crimes have been committed. Frankly, they don't know anything about any of this. But that's the suspicious part, right? This is like the report about the remember the Donald Trump elevator incident that the New York freaking Times. Remember when we used to think these were like legitimate outlets? Wrote that story about how someone told us that there was a video of Donald Trump in an elevator somewhere doing something. What that thing was he was doing, unclear. Where it was, unclear. Is it even on video? Unclear. Oh, well, jeez. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. Can you imagine anyone who watches this stuff? I mean, good Lord. These poor people. All right, on to. Believe it or not, and I know this is going to be hard to believe. We're moving on to more news that's even gayer than MSNBC. I know. It's pretty crazy. Hard to believe. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Queer News Tonight. It's been a while since we visited Queer News Tonight. It's just as gay as ever. Live from the gayest place on earth, Queer News Tonight is the latest LGBTQ TV series. Wait. If I said that, I would get in trouble. The gayest place on earth. Don't think I'm not noticing the double standard. Because I do. I most certainly do. LGBTQ TV series daily news broadcast for the LGBTQ plus community. Hard-hitting, and timely global, national, and regional stories that matter most to you. Now, we could pretty much just pick anything from this, and you are sure to find a lot of tomfoolery. But frankly, where did the... Oh, okay, I had to start with this one. Now, okay. Imagine the world. The world that liberals want. The world that progressives want us to live in. You've been working all day at the, on an oil rig where you have to dress up in BDSM gear because some guy there who works there is super into that and the whole group has to be accepting, so everyone's forced to wear this stuff and it's all super gay. And so you're working all day. You finally get to go home. Your non-gender descript life partner is there with your 3 children, all of different races, none of which are biologically yours, or your non-gender descript partners. You cook dinner, Beyond Beef, that continues to grow your breasts larger and larger the more that you eat it, but it's cool because it got you a promotion. It makes you a preferred class according to the federal government. You finish dinner. You put the kids down to bed. You and the Zer in your life pour a glass of wine. You turn on the news. Now, is it an anchor in a suit? You know, a guy, Walter Cronkite style, explaining to you that today there was conflict in the Middle East. Well, no, of course not. That would be insane. Not only would it be bigoted, it would be transphobic, and it would be sexist. So instead, this is what you flip on. And you couldn't be more ready to watch this and realize how serious this is. And the news is just, this is quality, professional, totally 100% serious news. Remember, hard-hitting news. Now that I've set the stage for you, and I hope that puts you in the right frame of mind. We're sitting with our partner Zur, and we flip on the news. Here we go.
Elon Musk.
Hang on, you can't miss the first part. Sorry, I had the sound off. Here we go.
Let's square up gay culture. Elon Musk's relationship with his trans daughter continues to fall apart. Elon Musk has spoken out about his painful estrangement from his transgender daughter.
What else would you expect? This is the news anchor that everyone would expect. When you're drinking your glass of wine at the end of your long day at the BDSM mines, this is this is the anchor that you take 100% seriously. This is it. And they present it. They present it. This person talks totally serious too. Watch this.
Calling her a communist and blaming her politics on the expensive private high school she attended. Musk, now 19-year-old child, legally changed her gender to female last year. She changed her name to Vivian Jenna Wilson, saying in court filings that she no longer wishes to be related to the billionaire Tesla CEO in any way. In an excerpt from his upcoming biography published by the Wall Street Journal.
First, this is unrelated to whatever this. It's like a black drag version of Carrot Top combined with Ronald McDonald or something's going on here. Here, wait. Let's listen to this. Let's actually listen to the story a little bit about Elon Musk. Here, watch. Listen to this.
Here, she changed her name to Vivian Jenna Wilson, saying in court filings that she no longer wishes to be related to the billionaire Tesla CEO in any way.
No longer wishes to be related to the billionaire tech CEO of Tesla. Now, I would find it hard to believe that this child is no longer accepting money from the richest man on earth. Do you think it really goes that far? Do you think this person is actually denouncing Elon in public and then also saying, and no, Dad, I'm not taking your allowance of $1 million a month. I don't need that. Guaranteed, whatever this person is doing, Elon's paying for it. Come on, black Carrot Top Ronald McDonald cosplayer. Come on.
In an excerpt from his upcoming biography published by the Wall Street Journal, author Walter Isaacson wrote that Musk's rift with Vivian pained him more than anything in his life since the infant death of his firstborn child, Nevada, who died just...
This is truly a look into the absolute dystopian future that progressives want you to live in. This person is actually talking calmly and coherently as if he is a news anchor. And he looks like this. Dude, this is straight out of a movie where for some reason it's a sci-fi movie and for some reason you wake up and you sit up and like your alarm clock, instead of just beeping like it normally does, it's playing like YMCA. You know, it's fun to say it, the YMCA. And you go, what the hell? I didn't set that up. And so you turn it off and then you go downstairs, turn on the TV, and this is the news. And you're like, what? This can't. Why is everyone acting like this is normal? Then you get in your car and you drive to work and you guys, the weirdest thing. Holy crap. And as soon as you turn the corner into your office, you're like, where am I? And everyone looks like this. And they're like, yeah, Mark, what seems to be the problem? Well, Dan, why are you wearing 10-inch platform shoes? And why do you look like this? What do you mean, Mark? This is how I've always looked. Are you not accepting me? And then the SWAT team smashes through the windows because for 1 second a drag person wasn't 100% affirmed in their identity. And then you're just shot to death right then and there. It's a beautiful future. Yeah, it definitely, it could be a South Park bit, 100%, 100%. But really, you can just pick any. Let's see what we got here. We've got first randomized clinical trial shows gender-affirming care halves suicide rate in trans patients. Now, I've not watched this, as you can see. I am skeptical. First of all, this admits something right off the bat from the title that they've been trying to convince you isn't true for a long time. Because they keep saying all the data and studies show that this reduces suicidality in people. And you say, no, it doesn't. There is no such study. And they go, yes, there is. We'll point to one. You should look it up. Okay. And now we have on Queer News Tonight, first randomized clinical trial. Oh, so there wasn't one before. Wow, fantastic. But I'm willing to bet it's not as rock solid as they make it out to be. HBO announces We're Here hosts are being joined by Latrice Royal. I don't even know what that sentence means. What is that sentence trying to communicate to me? I have no idea. Oh, God. Oh, God. We're about to watch this, and I'm sorry. The tomfoolery is too high. Bottoms emerge as the mean girls of the LGBTQ plus community. Oh. I don't know what's about to happen, and I'm very sorry for whatever it is. But we're about to watch it. Brace yourselves.
Let's begin by queering up entertainment. Bottoms becomes the new Mean Girls for the queer community.
Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Guess that's you guys.
Tonight is our night. We're getting the cooch. I'm gonna talk to Brittany. You can say hi to Isabel.
What would I say? Hey, girl, how's your boyfriend? How's his penis?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. I'm gonna expel you both for committing a crime against Jeff. Get out of the car.
You can't tell me what to do!
Get out of the freaking car!
We were just practicing for a self-defense club.
So it's like a fight club?
Yes.
Just stay in your lane until you're munching beaver at Wesleyan.
Yes, sir.
What's your plan here?
Jeff is
What what did we stumble into? What is going on here? Should I look up the actual trailer for this? Are they going to play the whole damn trailer? Holy shit, they do. They play the whole freaking thing. All right, we're not watching the rest of this. That's insane.
When the pearl.
I just don't know if you're supposed to be talking to us like that, just like as a teacher.
Bottoms finally hit movie.
And everyone's laughing. That was god awful. Even that 1 minute that we watched of that. Holy shit. What is no, there's no reason to even talk about it. I may go and look up the trailer and see if it's worth making a video on, because that would feel like a throwback to like the first video I ever put out, which was about I think the first video I ever did was about the show Georgia on Netflix. I'll look it up later. I don't know.
Theaters after premiering at SXSW in March, and the queers are pumped. Set to be the newest generation-defining movie set in a high school, Bottoms is the story of two lesbians who want to hook up with some cheerleaders, of course, before they graduate. So, what do? They start a fight club, naturally. The movie is packed with stars, including Rachel Sennett from Bodies, 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 Ayo Edebiri from The Bear, Kaya Gerber, and Marshawn Lynch. Best of all, the soundtrack was made by none other than Charlie XCX. The film is currently...
I don't know any of those people. I have no idea. Oh man, this is painful. This isn't even tomfoolery. This is just pure cringe. We're gonna have to leave this and go on to something else. I did want to watch this because the tomfoolery here, I think, is pretty next level. So from Queer News Tonight, they want us to believe, and I think I only watched like 30 seconds of this and said, of course, we're going to watch this for tomfoolery. Queer News Tonight wants us to believe that, quote, a quarter of Grindr users say they are there to network, not hook up. So Grindr, of course, is the gay hookup app. A quarter of users say they are there to network. That's like it's the what, like oh no, I wasn't it's like, why do you have gay porn? It was a joke. It's totally a joke. I'm not gay. I read the classifieds in the back for, I'm looking for a job. And in the back of this gay porn magazine, I could network with somebody. It's not a big deal, dude. It's totally normal. Everyone does this. They have the best job listings. Gee. I really can't believe that there's people who actually watch this. Luckily, their views seem to be comparable with mine, so that makes me feel better. I mean, not because I get good views, but because I don't get good views. They have 11.1 thousand subscribers, and this video has 97 views. So I don't feel so bad, actually. I don't feel so bad anymore. But to be fair, I'm sure YouTube props these guys up. I was gaining subscribers and viewers pretty fast up until I hit the brick wall where YouTube said, no more. Of course, that was after they deleted my channel once already. So, fighting the good fight,
Let's queer up gay culture. A quarter of Grindr users. Am I saying that right? I've heard of that. Say that they're there to network, not hook up. Grindr might not be the first place that springs to mind for job hunting, but around a quarter of users say they're not just on the app for sex. They're also using it to network. The LGBTQ plus dating app is certainly best known for helping horny queer men find quick hookups. But even Grindr's CEO say he's used the app to scout out new employees. George Arison.
I'm sorry. This was this was some tomfoolery I was not expecting. This is the Grindr CEO? Of course it is. The tomfoolery. Oh, man. Of course. Egbert over here. Fat bald guy, CEO of Grindr.
And told the Wall Street Journal that he has personally hired or had a professional relationship with several people he met over the years on the app.
Professional relationship. Yeah, I think the word relationship's doing a lot of work there, brother.
The Queer Social Network app surveyed its users and found that approximately 25% of the users say that one of their key activities on Grindr is to network. There's no denying that the app is built to facilitate.
They don't even believe this. Look, they're pulling up a tweet that's obviously a joke. Opening Grindr, shut up, I'm networking. I mean, obviously a joke. Why did they even pull? Who is this? A person? Wow, and tweet was made at 3:36 a.m. But is this a person who's famous? I mean, 148 likes. I mean, that doesn't seem like that's newsworthy, but
Facilitate a quick hookup. There's an option to be open to not suitable for work pictures, and users can share useful information like whether they are a top, a bottom, or side, very useful, and whether they are looking for someone right now. Still, there's more to the app than sex, as users connect over all sorts of things, including job opportunities. What makes it special is other dating apps don't take so kindly to the prospect of mixing business with pleasure. Tinder, for example, has community guidelines that advise users to make personal connections, not business ones. I believe it's true, just because I've accidentally networked there. Yeah, I've made friends on.
I really don't even know what to say. Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna pretend like this is a real thing. This is the. Oh no, yeah, totally. This is totally legit. No, 100% legit. Come on, you guys. I mean, clearly they don't even believe it. Why are they even talking about this? I have no idea. All right, let's pick one more story and we'll move on to the next tomfoolery. Let's see what we got. Oh, they had a story about the Nazi groups in Florida. Wow, good for them. Oh, this is a breakdown. Whoopi Goldberg, transgender athletes, Florida drag shows, and more. And for some reason, look who's in the thumbnail. Alice Cooper?
Let's queer up the USA View. After California Library kicks out transphobic group, they get threatened with a bombing.
I'm sorry. What kind of dystopian shit is going on here? What is going on with this chick? Dude. I'm telling, did we step into like just some bizarro Anchor bad poppy? And I'm telling you, it makes it way worse that they try to act serious during the broadcast. I mean, what? What is this? Is this really what they want? That people on the news look like this? Dude, what? I assume this is what they call a drag king, which is something I unfortunately have made a video about before. Dude, what is the market for this exactly? Serious question. Because I think that people, even people who are into whatever the hell's going on here, are they like demanding that their local news broadcasts have people in drag giving them the news? What is... I really don't understand it. Is that what they want? To look like they came out of the Fifth Element? Or like Total Recall or something? I don't understand.
Watch this.
I will give you one warning on that.
Yeah, Vic, they definitely Queer News Network or Queer News Tonight definitely they network on Grindr 100%. That's where they found their their employees was on Grindr.
Room at the Mary L. Stevens Library on Sunday when the group Moms for Liberty Yolo County held their meeting.
Losing our rights to privacy, dignity, and safe sports.
A mom of two, Allie Schneider, was at the meeting and was in line to speak. The group called the meeting a fair and safe sports for girls, alongside a discussion about.
Man, that's got to be a bummer if you have to have YOLO. I mean, that's unfortunate.
For girls, alongside a discussion about transgender students participating in sports.
Physical damage being done right now to girls and women who are forced to share their single sex
I'm interested to see what they're going to spin this as, because clearly they disagree with her. Clearly.
Women.
But within 10 minutes, Schneider says library staff kicked them out.
I'm asking them to leave.
Got completely drowned out and shoved out by the library official.
The group continued at a nearby park, but Schneider says she believes the library violated their rights to free speech.
It seems like they continue to put up roadblocks to keep us from, again, exercising our First Amendment.
I love this, the headline they're putting with this. After California library kicks out transphobic group, they get threatened with a bombing. First of all, I'm skeptical that happened. Second of all, when the left does something like this, because this has happened for years, where something like this happens where the left use some kind of threat of violence, like a bombing, they call it a bomb threat, and they just people just make excuses for them. It was the only way. It's the voice of the unheard. It was the only way to stop the injustice of blah, 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 blah. Someone else does it. They suddenly realize, well, guys, this is bad. No, you shouldn't do this. It's like, well, no shit. That's what we've been saying for years. But anyway, just like the thing with Libs of TikTok, where they were saying that group that was protesting outside the Gays Against Groomers event, Libs of TikTok, which is tied to and known to encourage bomb threats, that was actually proven that it wasn't. Well, first of all, we already knew it wasn't them, but it was a leftist group that did it. But they still go, no, it was Libs of TikTok that did it. Those far right extremists.
Rights.
Then on Monday afternoon, Davis Police and the Yolo County Sheriff's Office
got a tip
that's
about unfortunate.
A potential bomb threat at the same library.
It made a specific statement saying that the library was going to blow up at 3 p.m. And it made some type of a derogatory term towards the LGBTQ community.
About 10 libraries.
Faggots. He called them faggots. Just grow a pair, brother. Just say it. The word used to be funny. Once upon a time, it was funny.
Employees were evacuated as law enforcement searched the building.
No explosives were located.
We asked the sheriff's office if there is any possibility the bomb threat and the Moms for Liberty meeting were linked.
We don't know if there's any link to it at this time.
For Schneider, she says she has no idea who's behind the bomb threat and tells us she does not.
It's incredibly more likely that it was someone trying to frame these people. And I love how people act like that's an absurd thing to even suggest when they do it all the time. I mean, there's groups that admit to doing it. The Lincoln Project did it to Youngkin when he was running for governor. But sure. What's the next story? Oh, it looks like they got something on Riley Gaines. Let's see. I would recognize that beautiful mug anywhere. Not that one, but the one coming up.
On Twitter. Soon, the anti-trans activist Riley Gaines shared the post demanding the name and phone number of the librarian. The next day, before 3 p.m., police issued an alert in response to the bomb threat after several right-wing publications and blogs published articles on the incident.
Let's queer up business. Queer-owned Vampire Cosmetics cancels collaboration with Alice Cooper after anti-trans remarks. Alice Cooper's new makeup products.
I'm sorry, Alice Cooper is anti-trans? How did I miss this? I'm skeptical.
Released in collaboration with Vampire Cosmetics, have been dropped from the cosmetics brand's website in light of the rock singer's recent anti-trans comments. In an interview published by Stereogum,
is Alice Cooper actually anti-trans, or is Alice Cooper anti-trans in the way that J.K. Rowling is anti-trans, which to me is not at all, but for some reason they think that that she is.
Earlier this week, Cooper shared his opinions about.
Oh, that's right. I forgot, Vic. I totally forgot that he was like a born-again Christian and all that. Yeah, that's why he was on that terrible rendition of Jesus Christ Superstar with was it John Legend and God, that was terrible. And I love Jesus Christ Superstar. I've actually seen it live several times with the original cast from the movie. But yeah, that was god awful. And unfortunately, Alice Cooper was god awful in it as well. Everything about it was god awful, except for the guy who played Judas. Judas wasn't bad. He was actually the only one who had any talent at all. John Legend, that was embarrassing. I can't believe he agreed to do that. That guy cannot sing without his post-production team auto-tuning the hell out of everything. What were we talking about again?
This medical care for transgender youth, saying that he was, quote, afraid that it's also a fad, end quote. Using common anti-trans talking points to elaborate, he said he feels children are not mature enough to make decisions about their gender identity. He also shared anti-trans rhetoric about...
yes, those common anti-trans talking points that we will never attempt to address or debunk, but we will just act as if they are ridiculous with no explanation. Because we don't have one. Oh yeah, this guy definitely seems like there's something fishy going on here. In a way, this guy is kind of worse than the drag king and the what was that? The other Carrot Top drag queen. It's kind of, yeah, like see this kind of guy. See, it's another one. That guy, this guy, there's something worse about these guys. I don't even know exactly how to describe it, but this is when you were a kid and you'd see after school specials, this was the guy they were telling you to look out for. And they said, if this guy comes up to you and offers you candy, don't get into his van, kids. Don't do it. Still good advice. Just saying. Still good advice. Okay. On to our last bit of tomfoolery. Oh no, I got two things left. First one, super quick. So Danny Masterson from that 70s show was just sentenced to, what was it, like 30 years or something? I don't have the details pulled up, but he was sentenced to several decades in prison for raping two women. I don't really know the story, so I don't know if he did it or not. But where the tomfoolery enters the picture is that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis apparently wrote character letters to the judge about Danny Masterson because they worked on that 70s show with him for like 20 years or whatever it was. And basically they wrote letters to the judge saying that, I don't know, he always seemed like a good guy to us. He seemed like a good person. And this has gotten out. And now they're apologizing for saying that someone that was their friend, that at the time he seemed like a good guy. classic Hollywood stuff. But before I play this, if you can, make sure you've liked the stream. Of course, make sure that you're subscribed. And if you can, donate to the Revolver Fund. And of course, check out the merch. Get the stickers, the holographic sticker set. The boys didn't do nothing. Trump and I, totally innocent. If you want to support me, that's how you do it. All right. Cringe Hollywood celebrities. I mean, it's certainly not a I'm not finding a niche market here. I mean, this is pretty much a tale as old as time at this point, but it still is a lot of tomfoolery.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
First thing, already, the tomfoolery. I mean, we already have them. I mean, this whole thing is obviously reeking of tomfoolery. But isn't it weird that Ashton Kutcher seems like he's talking, and then Mila Kunis seems like she's reading a script or she's on Queer News Tonight or something? I mean, is she just a terrible, terrible actress? Or was this a choice that she made? I mean, like, legitimately, watch. Listen.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
The pain.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our hurt.
I mean, obviously he's reading a script too, but you know what I mean? He actually seems like he's, I mean, obviously a much better actor. Her delivery is terrible in this. Just god awful. But tomfoolery. Are we expected to believe that these people didn't know that if people found out that they were writing a character letter for Danny Masterson, that they weren't going to freak out? That the Me Too leftist progressives, blah blah, that they weren't gonna be pissed about this? Like they're shocked? And if that is the case, you'd have to be an idiot. But if that is the case, now you're saying, well, I didn't think anyone was going to read it. So I'm sorry that the letter got out. What? I mean, if you still think that you should have written the letter and you still think you did the right thing, why are you apologizing? The whole thing, the tomfoolery. This is just how Hollywood is, I guess.
Goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
And I love how honestly, it seems like a hostage video. What a stupid world we live in where people expect... How else would we have known that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis don't support rape? This is the kind of culture we live in. How could we have known? I mean, they wrote letters saying that when they knew Danny Masterson, he wasn't a bad guy. Well, they must advocate rape. Why is the world like this? All right. On to the last piece of Tomfoolery Tuesday. Style like you. Powering a self-acceptance revolution. A truly beautiful and brave YouTube channel that I suggest everyone subscribes to, even though I'm clearly not subscribed to them, but it says, we are a radically honest media company powering a self-acceptance revolution. Our mission is to fundamentally change how people see themselves and others. Our video series, including the What's Underneath Project. The What's Underneath Project. Closets, dispelling beauty myths, and more connect people through the healing power of vulnerability. Oh my God, this is giving me a migraine reading this. Power of vulnerability, truth sharing. This is painful. Just reading this is painful. And the unshakable bravery to be yourself. Founded by mother-daughter duo. Wow, that makes this a lot worse. I didn't know that. Elisa Goodkin and Lily Mandelbaum. I would like to take this moment to apologize for what we're about to watch. But it must be done because it's Tomfoolery Tuesday. Oh, they haven't posted something in a month. Well, that's encouraging. Maybe they're not as popular as they used to be. I haven't watched this yet, and man, this is going to be really painful. You may actually know this person because he's gone viral in many different ways over several years. Alok, and I can't say the rest of his name, but that should be enough. Alok finds freedom in body hair, miniskirts, and dressing for pure joy.
When I was living in LA, I would walk down on the street, which one doesn't really do in most parts of LA. And these people would come up to me and they'd be like, why are you so dressed up? Are you going somewhere? Like, is there an event? And it's sad to me that people don't see living as the event. I hate to break it to you, world, but you don't have to wait for the party. You don't have to wait for Fashion Week. You get to have fun now, and you get to be free now, and that now gets to be forever. And I think that really scares people because they've been taught to cordon off self-expression, creativity, fun into easy containers so that you return back to the realm of serious. But that's hardly being alive. That's just existing.
Now, did any of that sound like, well, first of all, did any of it approach even a modicum of a coherent thought? No, of course not. But did any of that in any way sound legitimate or completely 100% rehearsed and then delivered poorly? I mean, that was a lot of BS in a short period of time that doesn't even communicate anything, but is clearly rehearsed. This is the kind of crap you learn in college, is how to talk like this. This is the equivalent of what what's the word? Fortune tellers do. You know, when fortune tellers over centuries, that's what they do. What this person just said is absolute nonsense. But people who don't have a firm grasp on reality listen to that and go, wow, I didn't understand a word of that. This must be important. As opposed to a reasonable person going, wow, I did not understand a word of that. This must be retarded.
Style is the first vocabulary that I had to describe who I was on my own terms. I didn't get a choice in the body that I was given. So style was how I self-authored. And that's still what it means to me today. What do I want to say beyond words? I feel like
style was how I self-authored. You know, I am not a fan of people being jailed for speech But saying that something is how you self-authored is pretty damn close to warrant being thrown in jail. I mean, it's about as close as you can get. I'm a person that is, I don't want to jail anyone for speech, but that is right on the line where even I would have to say straight to jail. And if you want to look like this, fine. I get it. I get that that's how you want to look. But when did we transition to everyone else is to be compelled to think this looks like anything other than an absolutely insane person? That this looks like anything other than a human being who was born and raised in the world of tomfoolery. I mean, this is... Okay, let your freak flag fly. But you're still a freak. I mean, you understand that, right? I don't think you should be attacked or anything. But you are a freak and there's shame attached to that. You do understand that, right? Be yourself. Good for you. Now I'm free to look at you and go, well, damn, son, that is... You go do that over there and you keep doing it over there and do not get an inch closer to over here. Why did that happen? I don't understand. I was really thinking about this earlier when we were looking at the these weird teachers at the beginning, because I saw this thing advertising a Disney drag brunch. Why? I mean, where did we go wrong? Where this kind of tomfoolery... Listen, accepting this kind of tomfoolery is what it was, or like what it actually looks like is what it looked like about 25 years ago, which is, okay, you can do it at a 21 and up establishment between midnight and 3 a.m. And you do it there, but you do not march down Main Street and do it at brunch at the local diner. That's inappropriate. You filthy degenerates. You do it at this place. That's as accepting as society should be of this, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, this tomfoolery needs to be confined to tomfoolery establishments. I don't think that's too much to ask, because this is not a person who is well. And I guarantee you, through the entirety of this, at some point, he's going to say something about how, like, it's affected my mental health, or like the way that people treated me made me feel blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'm not going to diagnose why you're crazy, but even you seem to be admitting that you are crazy. I was always different and I always felt bad, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But me saying, hey, maybe we should contain that to its own tomfoolery area, I'm the asshole. Okay.
I'm a polyglot of so many different traditions, histories, cultures. I grew up in Texas. My parents are Malaysian and Indian, and they met in Canada, and I live in New York. And there's just so many different worlds and orbits that I've been a part of. I was bullied a lot as a kid. In response, I thought that I would be safe if I wasn't visible. So I tried to camouflage myself. I would wear just like black sweaters and black slacks. It made me so sad, the everyday delight that I had had, being able to dress in a way that was expansive.
You know, this also drives me nuts. This dude's explaining, I thought I'd be better off when I was invisible. Or if I was invisible, so I always wore a lot of black and I blah, blah, blah. Somebody needs to say this. something that you uncovered in therapy isn't actually reality. Because whenever you're doing a thing, you don't have this deep understanding of why it is that I'm doing this most of the time. I mean, sometimes you do, but most of the time, you're just doing it because you think that's the thing you want to do. Saying that, I mean, this is something a therapist would say to you. Do you think that maybe the reason why you dressed like that at that age is because you were trying to disappear? Because you were trying to not be seen? Because you didn't feel safe? And you go, oh my gosh, that is it. I'm sorry. You thinking about something you did 15 years later is not the reason you did the thing at the time. That's garbage. That is nonsense. Doesn't mean it can't be healthy to, you should explore why you did things. But come on, man. That's why did I dress up like punk? Why was I into punk stuff when I was a teenager? Oh, let's explore that. Well, no, it's simple. At the time, I thought it was cool as shit. No, it's an underlying battle with you and authority and how you feel, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. No, I thought it was cool. Yeah, but why did you think it was cool? Irrelevant. Does not matter. Maybe at the time, it could have mattered if for some reason you wanted to convince me not to do it. You know what I mean? But at 32 years old, what possible reason? What is the? How is this helping anybody for me to go back and explore why at 18 years old I had an orange mohawk? Especially when at the time I just thought it was cool. Actually, it turns out that you were feeling this way because you felt invisible and you just wanted to be seen. What? So you're just gonna introduce trauma to my modern day based off of something that wasn't traumatic? Okay, I don't know how we got off on this tangent, but what I'm saying is something is going on here, and it's bullshit.
Lost, and I think
it's
actually
tomfoolery.
What it ended up doing is not protecting me from bullying, but separating me from myself. I was
so
living
stupid.
Someone else's lie, someone else's fiction of who I should be. I was still operating at that time from the framework that if I could just correct something about myself, then it would stop. I didn't yet understand that it had nothing to do with
Oh my God, this level of self-obsession is so unhealthy. This is just crazy. I just need to sit and think about myself for hours on end, and then I'll truly be myself. Shut up.
with me. It had everything to do with the people who were bullying me, and that there was nothing that I could change about myself that would make people accept me, because that's not acceptance. When you have to change yourself, that's erasure. When I first came out to my mom, I said,
God, every single thing this dude says every single thing is it's all buzzwords and talking points. That's erasure. How long till we get to the cultural appropriation and I really found out that my world really changed when I realized it was the white man who was living on stolen land.
I'm gay, but I'm not like those people. I'm not flamboyant. I'm just like a straight guy who happens to be attracted to guys. I don't want to change the way that I dress. I don't want to change any of that. I'm normal. That was me saying, I'm not brave enough to accept my fullness like those people are, and I'm so obsessed with them because they are free, and I think I deserve to be free too. How did I go from being this depressed and suicidal kid in Texas to this? I changed because people loved me, because other gender variant people knew that I was mistaking my self-hatred as an identity and bore witness
Oh
to
my
me
God.
with courage and
Ugh. Yeah, let's go to a different one. Holy crap, man. It's okay not to belong. How bullying propelled drummer Madame? I mean, I assume they don't want me to say madam. I don't know. I'm assuming based on the way this person looks, it'll be something it's not pronounced right. Oh. Style is medicine. Crystal Anderson's Joyful Closet. Wow. Oh. I was actually going to make a video about this one and I never did. Mean Girls Danny Friends is here, queer, and doesn't give a shit. Wow. That's super great, brother. That's awesome. Oh, God. This is going to be painful. I'm not even going to read the description or the title of this. We're just going to watch it.
So I've wanted to be a parent since I was 9 years old. Motherhood never felt appropriate.
Why? Women who try to transition to men, why do they end up with this body shape every time? The pear shape. Why is that? Have you noticed that? What's the name of that guy? Scott. The woman who transitioned to be a guy, Scott. Scott Nugent from who was in What Is a Woman? Same body type. And that other transgender man that Matt Walsh interviewed in that documentary also had this body type. Is that something to do with the hormones? I don't know. They all seem to have this body type.
So I wasn't actively trying to get pregnant. I gave birth to Wilder at home, but I also gave birth to myself. Wilder's birth was
straight to jail. Straight to jail. I also gave birth to myself. Why are people like this? This fake BS. The tomfoolery. This is the person who's like, yeah. I rescued a black lab, but actually she rescued me. And of course the kid's name is Wilder. Ugh.
So calm and grounding and beautiful and powerful that it really showed me what I'm capable of.
We want to extend a huge thank you to Nanit and Dame for bringing...
No, we don't want to extend a thank you to your sponsors.
A little bit about what your style says about you.
I'm a new parent in postpartum, and so my style isn't what it used to be. About a few years before I had gotten pregnant with Wilder, I had started really becoming more comfortable and at home in my body. And I had started finding...
your style?
Yeah, I found my style, and so I'm really grieving now.
Oh my God, do people really talk like this with other people? Jeez, I would kill myself. Oh, God. No, yeah, I found my style. Oh, well, son of a bitch. We have now... all problems are solved. Wow. Wow, how did you do that? Wow. Oh, jeez.
That style, right? I would wear suspenders and button downs at home because it made me feel good.
Oh, God.
The ability to do that because my body doesn't fit the mold that our society creates and cuts its clothing from.
It doesn't fit the mold of...
Everything that these people say, this is like a loke. Listen to this. Listen to this absolute garbage. Absolute garbage.
Right? I would wear suspenders and button downs at home because it made me feel good. I'm
Here we go.
grieving the ability to do that because my body doesn't fit the mold that our society creates and cuts its clothing from.
It doesn't fit the mold of...
I hate what they always say things like this, and it's supposed they try to deliver this line as if it's like, I just came up with this on the fly. Bullshit. This is some tomfoolery that you came up with because of the internet on TikTok or something, that you came up with this stupid freaking lie.
Is the body. My body doesn't fit the mold that our society creates and cuts its clothing from.
It doesn't fit the mold of having a baby.
Right. Yeah. Having a baby while shopping in the men's department. I have this love for my body.
You are so insufferable.
Especially going through that pregnancy process as a non-binary person, post-medically transitioning, that really allowed for me to be a home for Wilder. And then I had Wilder, and postpartum depression and psychosis have really crept in.
And they always have to have names like Wilder. Wilder. Oh yeah, we're we're really accepting strange, we're unusual parents. This is our son, Jaden Wilder Britton. I think it was Lewis Black that told the joke that, I think the doctors and nurses who are involved in childbirth should have the right to say, when the parent writes down the name, to just look at them and go, no. No, try again. No, that's not it. I think that was a Lewis Black bit where he was talking about absurd baby names that someone had told him. But yeah, the doctors and nurses should have because they're the ones who actually have their wits about them. You just went through something traumatic. You just had a child, or your partner just had a child. If you didn't plan this beforehand and you're just writing some shit down, the doctors and nurses should have the right to read it and go, no, that is not accepted. You need do it again. Try again. See, what you just wrote down would be a failing grade. We need you to try again, and we're going to give you the opportunity to try again, because there's no way in hell your kid is walking around being named Jaden Wilder Britton. It's not happening.
And change that relationship. It's covered it up in some ways. So I've just been slowly trying to uncover that self-love again that I had for my body while I was pregnant.
Can you talk about assumptions that people make about you based on your appearance?
Oftentimes people assume that I am a cis gay man, and it's never assumed that I gave birth to my baby. And it's always assumed that I am Wilder's father, which I am, but that Wilder has a mother, which they do not. But then also there's this really big sense of feeling unseen. Like, I understand what my...
Oh man, dude, this is gonna make my brain explode. People a lot of times assume the things that I want them to assume, that I've tried to make them assume, but now that they assume it, it's really actually heartbreaking, and I don't like that they assume the things that I wanted them to assume, that I deceived them into assuming in the first place. You can try and make a woman look like a man, but that is some womanly shit right there. That is some women nonsense. That is, I'm sorry, ladies. It's men are never going to understand that, whatever the hell's going on there. And this woman trying to be a man is never going to understand that everything he just said is total whammon speak, 100%. You can try and change it, but it just doesn't work.
Mothers go through the postpartum experience, and so oftentimes I feel unseen in that sense.
And when you were pregnant, what were those assumptions?
The assumption that I got the most was that Wilder was planned and that I used a donor, which was not the case. But the other assumption that most people made is that it would cause and trigger a whole lot of gender dysphoria, which it didn't. It did the opposite. It created gender euphoria in a way that I've never experienced before.
Oh, man. We may have to leave it there and move on to the voting portion of the night, because did you hear what this insane lady just said? So presumably, as a trans person, has been experiencing or claiming to experience dysphoria. And people assumed that I would have worse dysphoria when I got pregnant. Turns out that was the most gender euphoria I've ever experienced. Well, golly gee, you're telling me that, wait a minute, you as a woman, when you did a womanly thing, you felt better? Wow. When your actions aligned with your biological sex, you felt better? That's crazy. Wow. I mean, that's just, who could have seen that coming? That's insane. Wow. That's, dude, I am flabbergasted. Now that's just some serious tomfoolery, my friend. I never would have guessed that. All right. So let's boil this down to a few choices and see who is the winner of the Tomfoolery Tuesday Award this week. I'm thinking that we boil it down to, and correct me if I'm wrong, DD Buffy, which if you don't remember who that is, no worries, because we all try to forget. The crazy preschool teacher who says, F your mom, don't talk to your parents, and I teach my kids to be gay, and goes to school like this. That's definitely, there's a lot of tomfoolery there. Of course, I spent way too much time on this because it triggers me, you guys. And several puns are intended when I say that. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham with her, well, I declared a state of emergency, so your rights can just fuck right off. Certainly a lot of tomfoolery going on there. What do you think? Should this be in the running, or is this just an honorable mention? The MSNBC Trump's office doesn't have his name on it. I mean, we kind of went through it quickly, but that's a lot of tomfoolery right there. I mean, that is a lot of tomfoolery. And I want to say it's pretty funny that this was posted on September 11th. MSNBC, a major news network, this post has 100 likes. That is pathetic. They're supposed to be mainstream media. Out of 29.3 thousand views, 100 likes. And one of those is mine, so I could come and find it later. So actually, it's 99 likes. I mean, that's pathetic, man. All right, honorable mention. How about, let's say the last two are Queer News Tonight and the Style Like You.
It took me years to get comfortable with my boob.
Does that sound good? Yeah? So we go Dee Dee, what the hell was her name? Dee Dee Duffy. Governor Grisham, Queer News Tonight, and Style Like You. Top four? That sound fair? I think that's a fair poll to take. D.D. Duffy, Governor Grisham, actually, I don't think I can write the word queer in the poll. I think it doesn't let me do that. Oh, no, it went through. Okay, so the poll is out. In case you forgot, D.D. Duffy. Oh.
Concept of chosen. I feel like I had to learn the concept of chosen families really young, and it wasn't anything to do with my queerness, but just based on the fact that I didn't have the love at home that I needed, and I knew that I was valuable and deserved it, so I found it on my own early on. And I shouldn't be blamed for that, because blood is
You should be fired. I mean, what an insane person.
And most of the time, I don't want to do anything at all.
And of course, Governor Grisham with her, I don't give a crap about your rights.
In a perfect world, if this was upheld, it gives all of these police officers the ability to focus on the real criminals.
Last follow-up.
Yeah. But your point is valid.
You took an oath to the Constitution. Isn't it unconstitutional to say you cannot exercise your carry license?
With one exception, and that is if there's an emergency, and I've declared an emergency for a temporary amount of time, I can invoke additional powers. No.
The absolute tomfoolery. It triggers me, man. Every damn time. God. What about your oath to the Constitution? You think I give a crap about that? Are you crazy? Did you see what I did during COVID? I don't give a crap about my oath to the Constitution. You absolute plebs. Do what I tell you. Oh, you're a law-abiding citizen? Maybe you should be arrested for that. Something she actually said, by the way. In case you forgot. She actually said that. What a world. What a world. And now let's pull up everyone's favorite drag queen, Carrot Top, for Queer News Tonight.
Let's queer up gay culture. Elon Musk's relationship with his trans daughter continues to fall apart. Elon Musk has spoken out about his painful estrangement from his transgender daughter, calling her a communist and blaming her politics on the expensive private high school she attended. Musk's now 19-year-old child legally changed her gender to female last year. She changed her name to Vivian Jenna Wilson, saying in court filings that she no longer wishes to be related to the billion.
Dude, that is the face of trustworthy journalism. I mean, 100%, 100%. And of course, everyone remembers our good friend, whatever the hell this person's name was.
Still, like, when I look down at my tummy, I'm like, this is like home. This is my child's first home, and it reminds me now. I'm like, wow.
God, that was so fake and painful.
In order for Wilder to learn how to love their body, I get to learn how to love mine.
So can you talk a little
God, kill me. Kill me. Holy crap. Style like you, bringing in the high quality content that makes you want to kill yourself. Holy hell. Gee. I don't know how many times I can say that before something gets triggered on YouTube for saying it too many times. I don't know. All right, place your votes, ladies and gentlemen. Place your votes. And while we wait for votes to roll in, let's see what we got here. Here, I'll play a little bit of this again because it's my favorite thing on YouTube right now.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. Straight outta Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From the gang called Fellas with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sawed off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you mess with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the punk motherfucker that's showing out. People start to mumble, wanna rumble. Mix them and cook them in a pot like gumbo. Going off on a motherfucker like that. With a gat that's pointed at your ass. So fast. So give it up smooth. Ain't no telling when I'm down for a jack move. Here's a murder rap to keep you dancing. With a crime record like Charles Manson. AK-47 is the tool. Don't make me act like a crazy little fool.
I actually genuinely listen to this. It's it's fantastic. It's only second to the one where the one he did with oh hell, what was it? The oh, I'm totally blank. That was he did one other Straight Outta Compton. What was it? It was oh, there it is. Yeah, the Hank Williams Straight Outta Compton.
Straight outta Compton, crazy mother named Ice Cube. From the gang called Fellers with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sold off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the punk mother that's showing out. When I'm in your neighborhood, you better duck. Cause Ice Cube is crazy as I leave, believe I'm something. I'm coming straight out of Compton. AK-47 is the tool. Don't make me act like a mother fool. You're weekly, monthly, yearly. And tell them dumb mother see clearly. Straight out of Nashville singing them crazy little rap songs. But my voice just don't quite belong. I'm so lonesome that I could cry. And nothing good'll come from this AI.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are going to be closing the vote for this Tuesday. And it looks like Queer News Tonight comes out on top. The king and queens, the drag kings and queens of tomfoolery for this week. None other than Queer News Tonight. Let's see. All right, they have a... There you go. To celebrate Queer News Tonight.
Tonight on the world's first live daily queer evening news show.
Tonight's news about the gay community and the news from an LGBTQ perspective.
Oh, actually, I need to stop playing this because that got one of the videos I was doing taken down because apparently they didn't get rights to the music, and then I got copyright claim for the music. I don't know. It was a huge pain in the ass. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So, don't forget, if you've enjoyed Tomfoolery Tuesday, I always want to say TikTok Tuesday. I've done that too many times. If you've enjoyed Tomfoolery Tuesday, make sure you like the stream, make sure you're subscribed, and of course, any donations are appreciated. I suggest you check out the merch because then you get something for your money other than my beautiful mug on this animated screen on your phone or your computer or your TV. And of course, there's still a bunch of other merch up there. Well, a bunch. There's some. The Armory merch. Is that what's up there? I don't even freaking remember anymore because it's been so long since I looked. Let's take a look. Hey, yeah, there you go. I love this hoodie. It's honestly one of my favorites. American made. The clothing may not be made in America, but I'm pretty sure it was printed in America. What's more American than having children in a sweatshop somewhere make your hoodie and then having it printed in the United States? America. And this has been a good seller. And actually, my pastor said he liked this shirt and this hat. So, church approved merchandise. I'm not sure how he would feel about the Dindu stickers, but you know, he hasn't seen those yet, so I'm still going to heaven until maybe he sees any of my videos or looks at the rest of my merch. Then we don't know. We don't know exactly what's going to happen then. All right, guys. It's been a good Tuesday. My name is Swamp, and I'll see you guys next time.